So it looks like neither of these teams, or excuse me, it looks like the side of EZG really does not want to have to play with those. So kind of interesting that you see concussions and flashes, especially concussions banned when it comes to search, but either way, going to be a viable option. And also active camo being taken out there by Joel. So, I mean, coming into this game, I would kind of expect to at least search and destroy, you get rid of that kinetic armor, but it looks like they're going to go ahead and vie for the active camo. When it comes to Redwood especially, you can kind of, in some ways, make sure that you're, I mean, like I said, when it comes to this map, active camo is very, very useful. It's a very big map when you're hiding behind, cover, especially on this map in specific. I think camo is used even more, and it's much more viable.
Yeah, we're starting to see that another player has come in as a substitution for Resent Gaming. That's going to be Miz there for that lineup. So that's going to be interesting to see how the dynamic is going to change for this S&D, particularly just because you really have to be on the same page for strategies. And, it seems like he's got a good pick in that battery kinetic armor. But I'm really going to look forward to seeing exactly how that is going to turn out for them. Meanwhile, on the other side, you're going to see that it's pretty much a good counter coming in because it's a mirror image with the exception of Psychosis on this side of Resent Gaming.
I want to ask you, Maze, in your opinion, for either squad, do you think Glitch or Psychosis is more viable? And like just in general, I mean, Psychosis in some ways is kind of considered not to be that useful. I think it's more of just a situational play, and Glitch obviously is known for being situational. But in your opinion, what do you think comes into more use? Do you think it's Psychosis or do you think it's Glitch? Because obviously both sides think it's something different.
I definitely think that Glitch has more uses throughout Search and Destroy as far as preserving your life. Because that's, if you're preemptive enough to check a bomb site, you're tagged up, you can just leave that area without taking any further damage. With the Psychosis, you're really randomizing what you can do on the map because it's based on where your bots decide to go when you activate that. So I think overall you're definitely going to want to go for Glitch just for certain situations, but it's really based on how the players prefer to play Search and Destroy overall. But that's just my opinion on it. I mean, we've seen some really good clutches with both, but the randomizing of where those bots go or where those clones go from Reaper's Psychosis is really a little bit too much of a down factor for me. So
yeah, they're not the smartest little clones that you have walking around. They're not the most viable option when it comes to being in gunfights. But either way, Redwood will be game number 2. Resent currently, if you guys have just joined the stream, Resent currently residing in that overall lead. They currently have a 1-0 lead right now, which was and kind of led them over on evac hardpoint, which was Resent winning 250 to 201. It will be Redwood Search and Destroy, obviously, for game number 2. Taking a look, obviously, a little bit more at the specialists and overall just in the game. I think it's going to be interesting to see if we possibly do see those sniper rifles pulled out. You didn't see the SVGB target. It was more of that little hint like overkill. Hey, if you do run a sniper rifle, you're not going to be able to have a viable secondary besides like a pistol, which in some cases, Black Ops 3, a pistol is almost as good as a primary. When it comes to like the RK5 or the MR6 if you're good enough with it. But I think coming into this game, though, looking at it, I wonder if we do see the sniper play when it comes to certain bomb sites, especially over on B. When you have that kind of long lines of sight, I think that could be very viable. And we'll see if if Cold-Blooded ends up being used as well when it comes to thermals and whatnot. It could definitely, we could possibly see that be mentioned when it comes to this game. But we'll see what happens, though.
Yeah, absolutely right. And, Cold-Blooded, a perk that is underused in competitive Call of Duty, to be honest with you, just because it's so useful to counter those thermals. But to be honest, if you want to shut down snipers on Redwood, you have to target the thermal instead of overkill, in my humble opinion. But, of course, initial attempted pick by Simp with the sniper not going to connect. Meanwhile, EZG trying to clear out that B bomb site as Muni is going to be that objective player, but he's going to have his teammate heavily tagged up. Stumpy gets victimized for first blood, and it's a 4-on-3 already.
That was a beautiful setup from Resent. They're not really getting on the bomb site necessarily, but they're at least watching over it. And they have no issue if they're getting close to that bomb site or not. I mean, they want to make sure they're not getting there, but they kind of formed a line a little bit. But RC's able to drop one as 2 players drop from Resent. And Casmo, the guys from EZG, just lined them up. Oh my god. I cannot wait to see this kill cam because Casmo absolutely goes off as you're going to see 3 kills, I think. There's one, there's the second, and there's the third as they just completely line up for Casmo. That's just an unfortunate scene of events for Resent because they had the overall setup. They were over at the bomb site, and that was Casmo just coming in and saying, you know what, I'm just going to take over. I'm just going to go and grab the round, and that'll be EZG taking round number 1. I'm speechless. I mean,
I am literally holding my mouth shut at this point because I could not believe that went down. What a play by EZG. Kazmo really showing his prowess with that M8A7, and he's going to attempt to challenge. He's feeling himself in this match for sure, because he is just expecting for players to challenge at some point, and I love the play by him in that initial attempt to pick. But he's going to miss the player, and the bomb's going to go down here for Joel, but the indication's coming in. Double nades going to tag him up heavily, and he's going to get taken down. This is now going to be traded. 3 players go down for Resent. That leaves Miz by himself, and now he's going to get shut down. That's going to be a defuse. EZG showing some signs of life on map number 2.
Yeah, and EZG basically did the exact same setup that Resent did. They just made sure they weren't always out in the open. So that was a really good job over for the side of Resent, or for the side of EZG. Like I said, kind of just maintaining back, not even giving them a little bit of space, but in the end, when they realized the bomb was down, they kind of formed a little bit of a pinch that possibly came in. And who else says it has to be? It has to be Kazmo finding the last kill of that round. Teammate Arcedes almost getting an ace in that one, but he'll steal that one away and also grab that bomb defusal. So I'm going to go on board with Kazmo. I believe I'll have to start to see if he's on those streaks, as I believe he's only 100 points away, and he only has 2 score streaks equipped. So that might have been a little bit of a possible accident. Might have had the HDXT card most likely in his back pocket, but since that one was banned out, he's not going to have that one on board just yet. But it will be him off on that B bomb or that A bomb site. And EZG, possible push, and 2 players drop from either side. The bomb in the hands. As you can see, this one possibly getting down shortly, as Kazmo has to grab that one soon.
Yes, he does. And hey, Kazmo and Arcedes staying alive is not necessarily a horrible thing for EZG, considering they're doing the best on their roster at this point in time. But it's all left up to Arcedes, able to pick up one. It's going to be a 1v1. How he survived that gunfight is beyond me, but he knows what the other player is. This could be very good timing.
No.
Check your left.
What?
No!
Oh my God. Lost the battle, but
That's Redwood. That's exactly what Redwood is. It's just a matter of turning corners and not knowing where anyone is. Because Brawlek didn't see the guy coming, and then you see, I can't remember who this player was exactly, but either way, I mean, Arcedes just didn't check the corner. Like that's the definition of Redwood. These bigger maps, when it comes to search, you got to check every corner, because if not, it can end up biting you in the butt, and that's what kind of happened for Resent. So a little bit of a sweat off the brow moment, as they're not going to be on the offensive side.
Oh, man, that's unfortunate to see. Considering he didn't have any stun grenades or nades left, he used them all in the beginning part of the match, and that's something where you want to save those just in case, if you need to use those later on in the match. But, you know, it's all a matter of perspective, as right now you're going to see Miz going to get taken down, and Muni immediately traded. This is going to be most likely a clear bomb site for Joel to get this bomb down, and he does know that they are using those nades. He's going to get shot down, most likely. Does get shut down. That's leaving Simp all by himself on a 1v3. Now a 1v2, but he's one shot and will be challenged shortly. What is he doing at this point in time? I'm not sure, but he's gonna... No way! I cannot believe this is happening right now. I'm walking away, man. I cannot believe this match is this intense already.
Like, it's different because, like, I mean,
Oh my God.
how do you stay alive in that situation?
One
Like,
shot
he
the
picks
whole
up
time.
one, he finds 2 on the bomb, he does a really weird wall run, which I thought was going to be like a really good play from him, because if he's in the air, the player's most likely not going to expect it. And then he just jumps around the side. I have no words for what we just witnessed. But Simp, the man, the myth, the legend, he's turned on the Jets in round number 5, as he's going to get up close and personal, as he's getting ever so close to those beloved score streaks. The dart is going to be one to be watching out for if he ends up finding this player inside the back. There's going to be one over on A. I'm not really sure what this player's doing, but he's going to catch one wrapping around, and that'll be a first blood on the board. He's currently 7-3, and another player being traded. So some good job overall from the side of Resent, as they drop 2 Arcedes and Kazmo in a 2v3.
Yeah, make that a 1v3, as he's definitely going to have his hands tied at this point in time.
Did it last time.
He did it last time. You're absolutely right. He doesn't have kinetic armor available yet. And, of course, that bomb is down in no man's land as well. And Brawlek goes to try to make a play on it. But he's been spotted, and Kazmo not going to be able to win that gunfight. That's going to be a clutch. And you're starting to see 3 unanswered rounds put together here from Resent Gaming. And they're already leading the series 1-0. This is one that really needs to be slowed down a little bit here by EZG if they want to come out on top.
Without a doubt. And like you mentioned, 3 straight rounds from Resent. You cannot let these guys get going, because you know what happens when they get going. They can absolutely take a game and and run with it. But currently, Mooney sitting at 0-4 is kind of turned up just a little bit. And I know he's been trying to get on that bomb occasionally, but just in general, you got to be starting off well, and you cannot have a slow start. It always comes when it comes down to search and destroy. Players always say, getting that first kill when you've had a little bit of a slump off the break is so hard to kind of come back from. But we're actually going to see a possible A push here, and Casmo's going to realize there's 3 players and he can't find any of them. So great job here from Resent Gaming as they're going to take full control, but there is going to be one player here. That's going to be Stumpy. He's able to drop Blunt over on Simp. So we're going to hold off the push for a little bit of time. As that bomb goes down, what is Joel doing as he ends up dropping? Now Miz, the new pickup, middle of the series for Resent. Can he do any work? He drops one. Do not tell me there's going to be another 1v3, man.
There can't be. They were really hunting him down. It was like they were in the ocean, the blood was all over the place, and the sharks were out at that point in time. But you got to give a lot of credit to how EZG was able to slow down the pace a little bit. They also knew to check the A-bomb site. It's like they're expecting these plays to be called by Resent, and that's a good type of intuition to have on Search and Destroy, especially now that they're able to knock things up 3-3. This has a Route 11 written all over it here, Landon, and I couldn't ask for a better game too after a very close initial hard point on evac that we saw. Of course, if you're just joining the stream, it is Resent Gaming that's leading the series 1-0. EZG trying to get themselves tied up here, as this is now 3-3 on this Redwood S&D.
It's two-man split for Resent Gaming, excuse me. They want to make sure that a push does not come in from what just previously happened to those guys. But EZG getting a much needed round win in that last, obviously, round. And Stumpy coming from behind. He's not going to find anyone in the flank. He's going to drop one, drops a second as well. It's another day at the office. And now Brolic in a 1v3 situation. EZG getting that bomb down, as he's going to be nowhere near, as he's going to have to make a little bit of a jaunt and a little bit of a hike. It's Redwood, so, I mean, why not look at the trees and, take a little bit of the surroundings. Why not? But either way, 1v3 situation. It's happened before, twice actually, as he might take down one, but no, just firing away a little bit of shot. RK5 in hand, and that's going to do a little bit of work, but he ends up getting traded. So that'll be EZG responding with 2 rounds of their own. Mooney still sitting at 0-4.
Very calculated plays, though, coming in from EZG, despite the lackluster performance from Uni. And, he's only just a few kills away from being able to get himself on the board effectively as well, because he's doing the objective work on certain rounds. And when he was able to get the bomb down, he at least is tagging up players with shots. And that's very important because those trades have come in the last few rounds here for EZG. So as it is now, Resent is going to be on that offensive push over to B. Meanwhile, EZG going to try to feel things out. Arsity is going to be a player that's really going to have to watch out with these stuns, and he does pick up some intel now using those double nades, and he also has his heat wave active and ready to go, but not going to be able to use it. He gets shut down.
I'm sorry. Infamous Joel's MR6 shot was absolutely dirty, as that will now be Casmo. 1v2 situation. Bomb is not down just yet. It looks like we're actually going to see a little bit of a switch here. I like this play out of the side of Resent Gaming. They realize, hey, we're in a 1v2 situation. We have the man count in our favor. Why not just go ahead and rotate? And that's exactly what they're obviously going to do. And it looks like Casmo is going to be reading this one out, as we might see an early gunfight. And while that player's getting that bomb down, that's going to be very, very good position for him. He's going to spot one. Why is that player positioning that way? A kinetic armor unusable. Use it, he does, and he's going to find the kill. Casmo, 1v2 situation. He walks away with it, as he is going to be currently 8-5. And honestly, I'm not sure about that positioning from Brawl. You can definitely see they were focusing. They basically thought he was going to be coming on the flank, but Casmo feeling so confident as he ends up walking with the 1v2 kinetic armor. Perfect use of it. And now EZG sitting on map point.
I love their way to really analyze what the enemy is going to do. On a 1v2, on a 1v3, it's so tough to do that. And EZG making it look easy right now, as they're going to try to close things out on match point right here, as it is going to be a 5-3 lead in favor of EZG. Of course, some players being aggressive on the bridge. Muni's patience is going to pay off. And just like that, the team ace comes in. EZG able to knock the series up 1-1 after a dominant finish to this S&D.
And I was starting to think, I was like, Resent, they were down early on. I think it was like an 2-0 start for the side of EZG, then Resent started to come back. I was like, maybe if they win this round, it could happen. And then before I could even complete my thought, the round was over. So you just witnessed a world record search and destroy round. Not really, just kidding. But
it was close.
It was a good ending, though, for EZG. Confident ending as well. That round definitely in the end was majorly key for those guys. But Casmo, in some ways, didn't lead in the amount of kills that he got, but in the clutches that he had, without a doubt, gave 2 rounds to the side of EZG. You look at the plays that Resent had, some good standard plays, but in the end, it was EGG. Those rotations to different bomb sites, doing something a little bit different. Now, we didn't see snipers coming out, but I think the use of overdrive definitely worked out for the side of EGG, and those first bullets were ever so deadly, and those clutches were even deadlier. So